guys, it's Julia. So today I have an original book tag for you, and it is the Doctor Who 2.0 book tag. I know there is already a Doctor Who book tag. It was created by Sabrina Handel and Novels and Nonsense, and I really like the way they did theirs, how each question was based off of a different doctor. Kind of wanted to use some other elements of Doctor Who to create a book tag. I really like their book tag, and I definitely want to do it in the future, but for now I am just going to be doing this one, which I created, which they inspired. So thank you to those two for inspiring me and making me think of these things, and I hope you guys enjoy. So question number one is Classic Who, and that is, what is your favorite classic book or series? And for me, my favorite classic books are The Wizard of Oz and Peter Pan. One thing that these books have in common is they both circulate around going to an imaginary fantasy world. As a child, I really enjoyed fantasy things and things like fairies and goblins and crazy other things like that. Things that really were not real and obviously not real, but I enjoyed escaping into the fantasy land. So obviously The Wizard of Oz and Peter Pan both have those elements to them. Also, I was in a production of The Wizard of Oz. When I was younger, I watched the Peter Pan musical over and over and over and over. I loved it so much, and since I'm so into theater and performing, both of those also add to those being my favorite books. Question number two is New Who, and that is, what book or series do you believe needs a reboot or a companion book or series to? I chose the Hunger Games trilogy by Suzanne Collins. I absolutely adore this trilogy. I think it is amazing, and I would love to have books that tell us more about the previous Hunger Games and things like that, and kind of more the lead up to the rebellion and how District 13 really came back and became a rebellion force. Even little novellas from the Hunger Games, I would love that so much, because it would be so cool to see what happened in Finnick Odair's Hunger Games, Johanna Mason's Hunger Games, or Haymitch's Hunger Games. Like, it would be really cool to see all of those little things, and also to figure out what happens kind of before this whole situation went down. So question number three is TARDIS, and that is, if you could travel to any setting in a book series, where would you go? I think this one would be pretty obvious, but I am going with Hogwarts from the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. I don't know anyone who wouldn't want to go to Hogwarts. It is a magic castle. Question number four is The Impossible Girl. That is, what is one book or series that you have not read but seems to follow you everywhere? I have three answers for this one. Three series that I keep hearing about everywhere and that I want to read so badly, but I haven't had time to read them or haven't gotten my hands on them, and they are just always around all the time. And those are The Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer, the Lux series by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and the Infernal Devices trilogy by Cassandra Clare. No, I have not read those. Do not hurt me. I will read them very soon. I promise. Question number five is Doomsday, and that is, what book had a devastating plot twist? For this one, I chose Looking for Alaska by John Green. I have a book talk on Looking for Alaska if you guys want to check that out and learn more about it. I don't want to give away anything in this book, but there's definitely a devastating plot twist, even though it is predictable, but it definitely is devastating. Question number six is The Face of Boh, and that is, what is one book that you simply do not understand? And for me, that one is The Luminaries by Eleanor Catton. I have not read this book yet, so before you guys say, oh, how can you not understand it if you've never read it? I went to a talk with the author, Eleanor Catton, at a writing festival in my town, and she was talking about the book and how, like, all the different parts of the book are based on, like, moon cycles, and how, like, the number of pages, like, corresponds to some ratio or so. It went completely over my head. I was so confused. And just from that talk, I've kind of been avoiding reading this because it sounds so complicated, and I've heard it's amazing, but it sounds so complicated that I don't know if I can handle reading it. And I will get around to reading it because it's big and beautiful and hardcover, but oh my god, I'm not smart enough to read this book. Question number 7 is the sonic screwdriver, and that is, what is one gadget that you would love to have in your possession? And for that one, of course, I chose a wand from Harry Potter. Who would not want their own wand? Like, you can cast spells. You can get stuff to come to you. Like, if you wanted food, you could just be like, Accio food, Accio yogurt, Accio dog, because you don't like to cuddle with me. And then I could like protect myself. Like if teachers coming by with a test and I was like, I don't want to see that test, I'd be like, Protego, and they wouldn't be able to get to me. That would be great. Question number 8 is River Song, and that is, what is one book character that you find very complicated? I chose Amy Elliott Dunn from Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. Okay, so maybe this character is a little more messed up than she is complicated. She definitely has a complicated mindset about her. If you've read this book, you know what I mean. She's crazy. She's a psychopath. And what psychopath is not complicated? It's so messed up, but it's really good, so you should read it. Question number 9 is Weeping Angels, and that is, what book was so enthralling that you wouldn't even blink while reading because you didn't want to miss something? I chose The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hodkin. When I was reading this, I would not let anything come near me. I was like, I need to concentrate on this book and this book only. There was so much detail and so much intricacy going into this book, and you can tell from the first book that stuff that is said in this book is going to be very, very important later on. So I was trying to just keep it and suck it in and like hold on to all the information, and I would not blink because I did not want to miss one single word of this book, because I did not want to be completely lost in like 10 chapters. And the last question, the 10th question, is Regeneration, and that is, what is one book that you are going to give a second chance to? That one, I chose The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. I tried reading this a while ago. I couldn't get into it. It was just dragging on, and I didn't really want to read it, and I guess you have to be in a certain mood set to read The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and, you know, those works, and I guess I just wasn't in that mindset, so I just gave up on it, and I haven't picked it up for a couple of years now, but I really want to read it, and I really want to read the whole like saga, because I've heard amazing, amazing things about all of them. So hopefully soon I will pick this one up and give it a second chance, because I know it'll be amazing once I get into it, but it's just the getting into it that needs to still happen. So yes, that was my Doctor Who 2.0 book tag. I almost said challenge. This was not a challenge. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will definitely be tagging some people down below. The thing is, if you're tagged, I'm sorry if you don't watch Doctor Who. I just want to tag some people. So check it down below to see who I tag. And also, if you are a reader and a Whovian, I tag you to do this tag because I want to see how everyone like relates stuff to Doctor Who. They definitely do this in the show a lot. Thank you for watching, and I love you guys. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.